This is Talks Tasha, and I have a guest here, Chinyere, and we're going to just spend time, aren't we, Chinyere, discussing all things about your book, experiences, and about race, and what we experience as people of color and what we go through. So before we begin, I would like you to hit the like, share, and subscribe button most kindly so we can get this push forward, so people who come up here and they've spent their time to come up here, that it can be pushed forward so their voices can be heard. So nice to have you, Chinyere, on Talks Tasha. So where are you from? And just tell a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. I am first generation Nigerian American. I was born in Nigeria but was raised in US. And I am the CEO, founder, and author of All Martha's Writers. I am equally the 2024 globally recognized author that uses literature writing to call for transparency, advocate, and just bring awareness to our social issues that people have overlooked or have gone numb to.
Where do we begin? Where do we start on this? People are thinking, whoa, what has she got to say?
My new book, Corporate Corruption and Its Unspoken Rules, is making headlines. It's trending online. I am getting a backlash by the Caucasian supervisors, leadership, and peers at work because of the fear of the exposing of the toxicity in the workplace that people that come from a third world, so they call us, see, and deal with every day, and they expect us to be quiet about it. So that's basically what the book is capturing, but also in a broader view of capturing our systemic racism and how it has affected corporate American workforce, and the question of how and what can we do in regards to that so people like me and you could thrive and drive in this corporate American workforce, or whichever country that you are in, is also what the book is about. And the main character of the book is Chama Udemy, whom happened to be a Nigerian American, just testifying her experience and how walk into the corporate American workforce.
Do you know what? It's such a shame that people, us of color, have to go through these experiences of racism.
We all have, in some shape, manner, or forms. Today's discrimination, racism, systemic disparity does not come like it used to come. Nobody is going to flood you anymore, but what is going to flood you and heat you will still heat you the same way, but in different methods and shapes and forms that it is. Some people have heard my voice and automatically believe that my knowledge and the capabilities actually ends with my accent, and they see an accent as a deformity, but in reality it's not. It's just showing where you are from. It doesn't have anything else to do with anything about you, So that has been part of the experience that I have had. When it comes to the regards of Chama was shocked to hear her peers' leadership when she was working at the job that she speaks English and her hygienic was up to date and her toilets were all accounted for. Like in 2026, some of these people do not understand the upgrade that the continent of Africa has made. They still picture the continent as if everyone is running around living in the trees with lions and tigers as our pets. But in reality, we have evolved and revolved, So that was one of the things that stuck out to her. And another thing that stuck out was her first day at work. Her Caucasian leaders were planning for that to be her last day at work. because again, they believe her kind and type should not have been hired. But it took an African American man, the only African American man that was in leadership, to say no, that Chama has not been given an opportunity to prove herself. And on what ground are we firing this young lady that just started working today? In as much as all of her other peers that were Caucasians have said that she gotta go. But just because of that African American man saying no, they turned around and gave him, which is Jamal Jackson, to be responsible of Chama as long as Chama is there, and told him that his career is on the line as well, since he was the only person that advocated for Chama to have employment opportunity. So throughout the course of Chama's career there, they always pick to try to get rid of Chama, but it never worked until Jamal Jackson was framed up and kicked out, and the next week Chama was kicked out too, because the person that was their shoe has been removed. So, and Chama happens to be my childhood friend. We grew up, we came to America almost the same time. So she told me the story. I am an author. I'm like, we're going to tell this as a story. I know it's going to rock a lot of feathers, but that's the reason why I am an author. I am not an author for you to like me. I am an author is to put a truth on the paper and for you to pay me to read it.
People think that Africa, like you were saying, I've heard a lot of African, I've got some African friends as well from Nigeria, and they're saying, no, Tash, it's so different than what you think, because the media has portrayed like the images that, the poor flies, like you were saying. So it's sort of pushed like, but it's established, it's built, it's modernized, and
Exactly.
That's the thing that people got in their head. You'll find that people with strong accents, people look down on them, or they think they don't understand what they're saying. But majority that I have met, I've got Nigerian friends, they're studying, they're getting their degrees, they're doing well, very, very well. So you can't just sort of base that prejudice on people,
It's the same, but they do a lot. I don't know about your country.
The climate in America to here in the UK, I think we're more integrated more over here in the UK. You have pockets, but it's not sort of, I think in America with the black and white, I think you're a bit more divided. Am I right? In America?
From my experience and what I have observed, you are on point.
Yeah. I think more in England, we're sort of a little bit more, it's not sort of highlighted as much as that sort of division, if you get what I mean. We're a little bit more integrated than America.
When I left my home country to come here as a teenager, I did not know anything about anything. It was during the process of growing up here and people disliking me for no reason. I began to ask questions. Opportunities kept passing me by that I know that I'm qualified for it. I started asking questions. What happened? And that's how I began to have an aware of this illness. I mostly call it a mental illness, because it doesn't make sense to me. And it still has not. And I have been in America for almost 20 years. It still hasn't made sense yet.
How did black people treat you when you first came over? Was it the same thing, or were they more sort of embracive to you when you came over from Africa?
Knowing that I was still a teenager on a growing, everybody just going to high school, riding the same bus. Nobody really cares, when we come back, everybody's just like hanging out together. So I never felt the thing until I start going places outside of predominantly African community or African American communities. That's when I started noticing, and like you said, you could tell. I cannot tell. and it's hurtful. I can't tell. They try to teach me how to pick it up, but when something is not in you and you weren't born with it, you're just not born with it. And the way you're going to react to it is going to be different from how people was born and raised inside it and knowing it. It's completely different. But to answer the question, from the get-go, I have an amazing relationship with African Americans. My mentors are African Americans. I try to understand the other parties to which I'm always willing to, but so far from my experience and that of Choma Ude's experience, maybe we haven't met the right set of Caucasians that can erase this memory that we just encountered. But I know that one or two apples spoils the whole tree, But speaking from today and based on the islands of this book that I just ghost wrote for her and her tears, it's just what is coming out from.
Because we're more integrated in the UK. And
Yeah.
it's just such a shame. It's such a shame that it's like that over there.
It is. And it just, I don't get it. I still do not get it up until today. I don't understand. The one that just surprises me is you just see somebody, you don't know somebody, just because they spoke a word, you have just put in everything about who they are on the one box. Just by speaking alone. It's very bothersome and worrisome. Hopefully this whole thing could just stop and we all can just get along, And the thing that shocked me the most is the supervisors, leadership, and peers, some of the peers that are Caucasians, attacking the book online. And the book is just 4 to 5 days old. They have already created a fourth review and ratings about the book. And because I ghost wrote it for Chalmer, now they are attacking my brand as an author, my credibility. They don't have a common sense enough to separate the fact that someone paid someone to write and represent their book versus the person they have an issue with. So at this point, I'm not sure whether it's their organization or their company are sending their people to discredit me and the book just to silence Chalmers' story. Because if I am in a company or organization, which I am, and my people are doing that, I'm going to shut them down because I know the reputation, it lingers online. So that means what Chalmers experienced is true, and what she's saying is true by attacking the book that is just 5 days old. 5 days old. They started attacking it the next day the book was published.
Guys, go out and get this book and read this account. It's powerful. I'm going to go and check it out myself and give it a good read, but check it out. I have found the video, by the way. I found it. So we are going to show this video. So this goes in line with what the book is about. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's give this a watch.
Every dream begins with hope. A new job, a new beginning, a future full of possibilities. For Chioma Udemy, leaving her old job for a new opportunity felt like a dream come true. But the excitement quickly turned into something unexpected. Whispers, judgment, and silent doubts. Behind closed doors, leadership debated whether she even belonged there. Only one man stood up for her, a leader willing to risk everything for fairness. What followed was a workplace filled with silent hostility, condescending remarks, and barriers placed in her path. Still, she refused to give up. She worked harder, succeeded in mission after mission, and proved she was more than capable. But inside a system driven by power, corruption began to reveal itself. When the one leader who supported her was forced out, everything changed. Now alone, Chioma Udemy faced the system that wanted her gone. But strength is born from adversity, and truth always finds its voice. Based on a true story, one woman's fight against corruption, prejudice, and silence. Corporate corruption and the unspoken rules. The true life story of Chioma Udemy, and written by author Chinyere M. Ude. Coming soon.
Wow, that is amazing. When I saw that, I thought, yes, I like that. I like that little video, so I had to put it up there. And guys, go and get the book. I would really advise you to go and give it a read, because this is going on and it's happening now to so many people of colour, and other people are experiencing it. It's not right. It has to be stamped out. It has to be wiped out. We can't be having this sort of prejudice, and especially if you're qualified. Because she was highly qualified for that job. She has every right to be there. Everyone needs equality and fairness. Where can people find you? On your social media?
All authors, writers, or author Chinyere Ude, on social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, and all that. I am everywhere. And so
she's everywhere.
And so as all authors is equally everywhere.
Especially a person of color. What advice would you give somebody?
I say something, because keeping quiet, turning a blind eye, playing it cool, staying out of the way, like they call it, and don't rock the boat hasn't worked. Centuries from centuries, we were taught those things, but it is getting worse and worse by the day, and this is 2026. Something has to change. You cannot confront them because they have more money, they have more crowd, they have more influence than you. Write your story.
Before we go, I normally do throw out questions, okay? So these are just random questions and you got to answer. So before we finished, what is your favorite food?
I say Nigerian jollof rice. You can't go.
Yeah. Oh, I love jollof. I love some jollof rice. Brilliant. And what's your favorite color, Chinyere?
Red,
white,
black, and blue.
Oh, and the last question, what is your favorite genre of music? What is your favorite song?
I would say I am more of a Beyonce fan.
Oh, so you like a bit of Beyonce, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, so you like a bit. So you're on the beehive, as she calls them. Oh, okay. People go and buy that book and read it. So it's been so lovely you coming on Talks Tasha. And come back again in a couple of years' time and tell me how it's going and that. But all my love to you and everything. Thank you so much for coming on.
And showed me how I should believe.